recording of this. Just
I've been cut already.
Don't go back to it.
This isn't the biggest bag over the head punch in the face I ever got. God damn it!
I tend to cry a lot. Things.
Don't worry. Don't worry. I'm not gonna do what everyone thinks I'm gonna do. Flip out, man.
Whoa, hey, you don't want to embarrass yourself, buddy.
Oh, wait, you threaten me now, tough guy?
He's threatening you, Jerry.
All I want to know is who's coming with me.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Steel Sanctuary Podcast. I'm your host, David Barrow from SteelSanctuary.com. I'm here with Trent and Bob, and today we've got Tony Serino back on the pod. Tony, how you doing?
great. Happy to be back.
Great to have you back, buddy. Where do we start? Let's talk about the cuts today. I guess the biggest surprise was Cameron Johnston. We're not going to do our 15 minutes on the holding versus.
No, we're not going to do 15 minutes. You're going to do 15-minute victory lap on this one.
No.
Because I believe you called it.
I did. I had a feeling. Kind of a disastrous signing, right? Did he even make an? Yeah, he got
He punted one punt.
One punt.
I was thinking this today on my way home. Yeah, I was like, did he signed for what? This is a great punter, by the way. I remember, 2 years ago when they signed him, or I guess it was last offseason they signed him, right? But like punting had been such a disaster that the fact that they were bringing this guy in, like, do they really care about punting again? Which of course is a silly thing to say, but yeah. And then he punts one time when he blew his knee out or whatever it was, and then can't beat out Waitman this offseason. Not ideal.
It's funny. Colas Waitman's been kicking around this team for what, 4 years?
Yeah.
They had him. Then they brought Presley Harvin in. That was a disaster. He replaced Presley Harvin for a little while. They signed Cameron Johnston. He gets hurt. They re-signed Waitman again, and now he's the punter for real, finally. Quite a roller coaster at the Steelers' punting position.
But Waitman's actually been good. Waitman's actually been a decent punter, right? I mean, I think the moral of the story here is that they had two kind of good options here, and they just, I guess, chose to cheat with it too.
Yep. And Batko said they're both going to be punting week one. Somebody's going to bring Johnston immediately in, and we'll wait and see. I mean, we'll talk about consistency. I mean, Dave got the punter right, and I believe Mark Robinson. It was David and I got that one. Got that one right.
I got that one completely wrong. You guys kept telling me the stats, and I wasn't listening. I know you had 17 tackles in the preseason or something crazy like that. I'm like, no, they're going to go with the veteran. Well, they didn't.
Now, I've heard. One of the things about right now that we should say is that it's very hard to figure out how much of these moves are just roster shuffling versus how much of this is a real cut, right? Because I think it was Alan Saunders said on his show today that it's possible that Robinson and Bruner both get cut, and then they need because basically they need to keep another linebacker or another edge rusher because of what happened to Herbig. And so maybe some of this is just a shuffling around right now, and we'll really see what the roster is like once everybody gets moved to IR and all that happens.
Yeah, that's definitely a possibility. I mean, they're going to have to. It seems like they're going to have to keep an extra outside linebacker now because I listened to that little snippet from Herbig. He did not sound overly optimistic that I'm doing everything I can to be as ready as possible for game one. He's not. It doesn't sound like he's going to play week one.
No, and I don't think you want to carry 4 into a game where one is guaranteed not to play, right?
Is that a position where they could go grab somebody from the outside? A waiver guy? I mean, I know Lakota's Lakota, right?
Leota.
I'm sorry, Leota. Butchering his name. Has played pretty well in the preseason, but he's got zero experience.
Well, you only need him to come off the bench, right? I mean, Highsmith should be back by week 1.
We hope. Yeah, sounds like he's. Yeah,
sounds like it.
Boy, this would be a rough go of it.
He could take one snap and be right back out. Then you've got TJ and Leota for the rest of the game. Or
how do we feel about Jack Sawyer starting outside linebacker, starting edge rusher for the Pittsburgh Steelers? How do we feel about that? How does that sit with you guys?
I don't love it.
He's fine in the run game. You're not going to get a lot of pass rush.
Yeah.
You're going to get try hard.
You are.
That's what he's done. He's made a career out of try hard. Really,
a high motor. Yeah.
I'd be really worried with Justin Fields having Jack Sawyer on one of those edges. I feel like Fields will just run around that edge all day long.
You'd have to run a
that's
QB spy.
interesting. I'd worry more about TJ in that game than I would about Jack Sawyer, because I think
Really?
TJ at times does a poor job. I think TJ sometimes in these moments does a poor job of setting edge. He does it really well against Lamar, which I'll give him credit for. But sometimes in these moments, he gets not say he freelances or anything, but I do think I worry about TJ setting an edge against a guy like Justin Fields, because you cannot let him get on. We all know this. We watched Justin Fields last year, right? Go back to the Cowboys game, keep him in the pocket, make him read between the numbers. Like, it's just he's got a limited skill set in that area. So if TJ could just be disciplined, set the edge, I think we're fine.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, make a lot about Sawyer's speed, but as long as he stays disciplined and keeps us contained, he should be all right. I mean,
yeah,
we'll see how it goes.
He's got a high football IQ. I mean, for his deficiencies, he's got a high motor. He's got a high football IQ. He understands what he's doing. He understands his role, I think, very well, because, I mean, he wasn't exactly a starter all 4 years at Ohio State either, so he knows what role playing is like. So I think he'd be okay. I think he'll do very well against the run, which is what the Jets are going to want to do anyway. That's going to be probably a bigger sticking point to me than it is about Justin Fields running wild, because I think you're going to probably spy Fields with maybe Peyton Wilson or Patrick Queen, or maybe kind of rotate the two of those guys in a spy situation. But if you're going to miss with one of your top or both of two of the top three edge rushers on your team, the Jets is kind of the game you're going to want to miss it, because Justin's not a very proficient quarterback anyway.
Yeah.
Like, make him beat you throwing.
Yep.
I mean, theoretically, this could be like we talked a lot about yesterday, Trash. This could be where YA and Cam let them get big pressure up the middle, and then let Queen or Wilson spy Fields, and then just have TJ and if it's Sawyer, just contain. Contain. Just don't let him get outside. Because if you force him up the middle right into Peyton Wilson's arms or Queen's arms, it's going to look pretty good. I don't love the idea of this, though. No Harmon, maybe no Benton. Now, maybe no Highsmith, maybe no Herbig.
Yeah, the front seven against the Patriots game is the one where I think against a Vrabel team, the Patriots, that's week 2 or 3 that we play the Patriots.
Three.
Right?
Yeah.
We get Seahawks week 2.
Okay, that's right. They got to get healthy for week 3. That's when we need everybody back.
I also think you got to be healthy for week 2, because I think you want the huge pressure off the edge when Sam Darnold's there.
True.
Because you could force him into major mistakes.
True. They may have to get a little more creative. It really depends on, I mean, how long is Highsmith out? How long is Herbig out? Because if these guys are both, hey, they're not going to play week 1, but they can be back by week 2, like we're saying here, no big deal. It's I think if they're going to miss for a more extended period of time, then.
Yeah. The Harmon Benton thing is scary, because they're both. We think Harmon could miss at 3 games at most.
Yeah.
And then we don't even know what's wrong with Keanu Benton. I mean, how long?
Benton returned to practice today, I think.
Yeah.
Did he? All right.
Yeah.
I didn't hear that.
I think he's in good enough shape, possibly, to play the way it looks right now.
I think he would be improbable.
I like the depth the Steelers have on the D line right now.
It's probably the deepest position, right?
Yeah, I think they did a good job. Omar did a good job this offseason. Look, they're none of the guys, like, okay, obviously Cam Hayward is like the star there, and then they have the young guys who we're hoping are going to turn a corner, right? The Bentons of the world, the Derek Harmon and Yaya. Yaya, by the way, looked phenomenal this preseason. So
he did.
Just any glimmer of that in the regular season, and we're great. But then I think everybody behind that, like, I just feel like there's a bunch of kind of role players behind there that you're comfortable on a play-by-play basis. They're not going to be superstars, but these are guys who are going to do their job, which has not been the case for the Steelers on the defensive line the last couple of years.
Yeah, this is the best group they've had in quite a while, no doubt.
Yeah,
when they're all healthy. I mean, the top 4 is as good as they've had in a long, long time.
Right, but if you looked at in the last 3 years, has there been a team where on the defensive line, if 2 of the top 3 guys were hurt, like we are right now, Benton and Harmon, 2 are hurt, that you would feel comfortable at all with where they were on the defensive line?
No, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Absolutely right. We'd be absolutely petrified right now in years past with these injuries. 100%.
Yeah.
I just want to give a shout out to Lou Nichols, who got cut today. Man, that kid was impressive. I hope they get into the practice squad. He was so good. Hopefully.
Yeah.
They also cut J.J. Galbraith, and Max Hurleman was kind of a fun guy in the preseason too. I'm sure some of those guys.
Is Dave going to admit this?
What am I going to admit?
What our man Vaughn is saying here?
The con artist is still here.
Yeah. He loaded up on defensive linemen. Let's
never get wrong.
Oh, wait, are we? Is this an anti-con podcast or is this a pro-con?
I'm the one. I'm the sole
the holdout.
anti-con.
You're the holdout. Got it.
Not exactly. People are ready to put him in the Hall of Fame already after 3 years, and I'm like, let's pump the brakes. We're still waiting for wide receiver 2. What are we on, year 3 of Omar Khan? We still don't have a wide receiver 2.
What do you mean? They got Scotty Miller, dog. Scotty Miller looks like wide receiver 1A.
They got Jonnu Smith.
That might be a wide receiver too.
Well, do they have Jonnu Smith? Has he practiced yet?
That's another guy.
He's saying he's ready. He's going to be ready week 1.
Week 1, yeah.
He is a 31. I mean, was he 31 years old? I mean, does he really
30.
need? Yeah.
No, I'm all for with guys like Jonnu. I was only kidding about the Jonnu thing. I think for guys like Jonnu, look, the Steelers keep this guy out of practice. Like, keep him in bubble wrap. This guy's got to be healthy in December and in January. I don't care about September, right? I think that's the big thing. We talk about the Steelers. What they do in September is good, all fine and dandy. I think this team could start fast given their schedule. But I care far more about the health of this team in December and January. So do not risk any of that stuff now. No rushing any of these vets back.
Yeah, that's the worry with this team is all the veteran guys. Is it going to be healthy, weeks 16, 17, and into the playoffs if they hopefully make it? You got a lot of older guys you're relying on, to put it nicely.
You know what? I'm kind of wondering if Herbig and Highsmith can't go. I know we're talking Sawyer, but couldn't you maybe do Queen and Holcomb in the middle and move Wilson to edge for just one game?
Yeah, Tomlin won't do that.
You could. Okay, theoretically you could, because I do think that Wilson has the skill set, but I don't think for where he is in his year. Is this year 3 for Peyton Wilson?
2.
God, it feels. I mean, he was so good last year. I just think he's too early in his career to start moving him around like that. I think year 2, keep him at inside linebacker. Although, Bob, it brings up a good point, which is Cole Holcomb to me is the most interesting player on this roster. Cole Holcomb this preseason looked too good to be a guy who's just going to sit the bench the whole time, right?
Right.
He's all the way back.
It's crazy.
It looks like it.
It's crazy how good he's looked. I'd given up on him. I didn't think there was any chance that he would ever contribute to the Steelers again, ever. I thought his career was cooked.
I gave up on him. The moment they signed. I thought this was like a terrible sign. Who signed him? Was it?
That was Colbert.
It was Colbert. It was Colbert's last sign. Colbert. I thought it was a terrible signing, and he was very good for the Steelers. The limited amount we saw him that 1 year before he blew his knee out. Yeah. So glad to see him back. Give the Steelers a ton of depth at that position.
Yeah. Let me ask you guys this. I can't remember if it was Vaughn or Pun brought up earlier about Leal. Would you rather have Leota or Leal? Because I feel like if you have Jack Sawyer already on the roster who's a good run defender, you've got TJ Watt who's a good run defender. Would you maybe want to bring the kid who doesn't have experience, who's got the speed off the edge?
Yeah, I would. Definitely.
Leal, I mean, he shows up in preseason, but dude does not show up in the regular season.
He's got no pass rush. You're right. It's Jack Sawyer 2.0. He's just a run defender.
Well, he's way more athletic than Jack Sawyer is.
He is, but it doesn't show in games. He never gets to the quarterback. Ever.
Leal is such an interesting player because they moved him around. I mean, they tried everything they could with this kid to get him to figure it out. And I thought he showed signs in the last game against the Panthers. Like, he was fine in that game, but I don't know. I feel like you're just spinning your wheels at Leal. You know what it's going to be, right? He is forever going to be a fringe player on a roster. He is never going to be anything more than that.
I would give Leota a chance and just let him see if he does anything with it. I mean, people didn't know what Herbig was when he came out, but he had that speed.
Yep.
Get a kid who's got some speed off the edge and just see if he figures out how to work the bend with starting offensive linemen. You never know.
Give him a handful of snaps on pass rush downs and see what he
Mm-hmm.
can do. Why not?
I really hope.
I think he's a rookie, right?
Leota?
Yeah.
I honestly don't even know where he came from.
I think he's a UDFA, isn't he, Trent?
He was a UDFA. I can't remember which school he came from, though. To be honest with you, I think it was one of the out west schools.
So according to his Wikipedia, according to his Wikipedia page, he played for the Panthers last year.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Did not know that.
But he was a UDFA for them.
So low-level college ball, then.
Yeah, something like that.
Exactly.
All right, I brought up wide receivers earlier. Let's get into it. Terry McLaurin signed. I don't think anybody's surprised by that. We had hopes, we had dreams, but it was never going to happen. But Jacoby Myers asking for a trade today, that's interesting. I mean, every account on Twitter chimed in on that one. Every Steelers one. Bring him here.
I don't think it's going to happen.
He's the perfect fit, but I'm with Bob. It's not going to happen.
You don't think so? I mean,
look at their wide receiver room.
You don't think the Raiders want to deal him?
Yeah,
well, they did sign Amari Cooper today. I don't know if that does anything for you.
Hold on, let me ask you this. Would that have done anything for you
no.
if they signed him on the Steelers? Okay, so think about where they are. He would be wide receiver 1 for them. We're talking about wide receiver 2. He'd be wide receiver 1 for them if they trade Jacoby Myers. Depending on how much you like Trey Tucker. I don't know. Maybe Trey Tucker. Maybe you're a Trey Tucker guy.
No. Who did they draft? The guy that I liked out of the tall kid that's fast.
Dante Thornton.
Dante Thornton.
Yeah.
That's a late round pick, though. Do you trust a late round pick?
Yeah, probably not. But
you have potential.
Myers is the perfect wide receiver 2 for the Steelers. He would be a great addition to this team.
He would.
Now, how much are you willing to trade for him? Probably like are we going up to a day 2 pick? Is it a 3rd rounder?
Might have to do that to entice them.
That's too rich for my blood.
Same, but then why are they taking a 5th round pick for their wide receiver 1?
Yeah.
Right now. Just because I know he's threatening to hold out, and that's the problem here. But
I mean, we've talked about this so many times. You have 4 third-round picks.
3,
and then a potential 4th, right?
3, and then pray to God Russell Wilson doesn't get benched for Jackson Dart.
Yeah.
Because playing time matters.
This could be a tough pill to swallow for Dave.
Exactly.
I got to be rooting for him and against him at the same time. This is going to be weird.
You have 2 decisions, Dave. You can either be right about Jackson Dart or the Steelers can get Arch Manning. It's your choice.
I want to be right. I want to be right. I don't even have to think about that. You have no idea. People coming at me all off season long. You're crazy. He stinks. Shedeur Sanders is so much better. Blah blah blah. I got it from everywhere. So yeah, I want to be right on that one.
Yeah, you can want to be right all day long, but I mean they're both bottom line not going to probably play until the last month of the season.
I can totally see Justin Fields. I mean, whatchamacallit, string the Giants along for 8, 9, 10 weeks. Russell Wilson making them believe he's halfway decent. And then I can totally see that.
Oh,
big pun! Wilson? Big pun! Oh my god,
dude! What the fuck? That's all I want to know. Is what
Trent's
the fuck?
Face before I saw the thing, and I'm like, what happened?
What the fuck, dude?
Roman Wilson and a 4th for Myers.
Yeah,
I would barely give the 4th. Fuck Roman Wilson in the pot, dude.
That's too rich. That's
goddamn Jacoby Myers. This isn't like a Pro Bowl wide receiver that you're talking about.
I'm not the biggest Roman Wilson fan in the world, but I wouldn't.
You can't throw the chiseled god out there as a trade target. Let's go.
Well, we could
throw Calvin Austin in a
late
round pick. Would they take Calvin Austin in a 6th for Jacoby Myers?
I wouldn't even go near trading Austin right now.
Yeah, why are we trading Calvin Austin too? Why are we trading Calvin?
Stinks. What are we talking about here?
Calvin Austin stinks?
Yeah.
Didn't he lead the team in touchdowns last year?
I'll tell you what, the guy that might actually be available who would probably be a much cheaper option is if Alec Pierce gets let go.
Yeah.
Do we think
he's a phenomenal fit for the offense. I think he's got a chance of getting let go. I think he's got a real chance of being let go.
I think if you're going to trade a third, you call Green Bay and say, give us Christian Watson. His last year of the contract. He's not playing for the first month. Give us him. Let us sit and wait. When that guy gets healthy, DK Christian Watson and Roman Wilson or Calvin Austin, that is a playoff winning wide receiver core.
Yeah, his injury history scares me.
Yeah, but
I'm just not taking
no
reps away
rest.
from Scotty Miller. I'm just not taking reps away from Scotty Miller. Scotty Miller has had. We want to talk about a great preseason. Okay, Scotty Miller was wide receiver 1 this preseason.
He's been
better
great.
than Roman. Obviously, DK didn't play. Not a lot of competition.
Yeah.
I actually think Scotty Miller. No jokes here. I actually think Scotty Miller has made a role for himself on this team. Like I think Scotty Miller is going to.
100%.
I said last time I was on that Robert Woods was going to be wide receiver 2. Now, obviously, I'll take the L on that one. What I didn't realize about Robert Woods is that athleticism fell off a cliff. I mean, not that he ever was a great athlete, but like from an athleticism perspective, I don't know if he's wide receiver 1 in a room where we are the competitors. Okay, this podcast.
Yeah,
that dude cannot move. Holy cow!
What was the play in the second? I think it was the Bucks game where he ran like a drag route across the middle and he catches the ball and like the fucking middle linebacker chased him down to like 2 steps. I'm like, goddamn, Darnell Washington would have ran further than that. Like, dude, he like looked like he had cement blocks in his cleats.
Yeah,
that was bad.
He's all the way out on the roster. Like he's not even going to make the roster at this point.
No, if he makes the roster, there's got to be an investigation.
Can I take my victory lap on that one? Because I've been fucking calling that thing since they signed that motherfucker.
Yeah, if you've been listening to the podcast, me too. I was like,
he's garbage.
Allen Robinson 2.0, just a terrible
Not
signing.
even.
Just
not Allen Robinson
I know.
made the roster.
I know. At least Allen Robinson made the roster. Anybody see Van Jefferson go yard the other day for the Titans? By the way, that's another bad receiver I was thinking about. What happened there?
didn't look so bad the other day, though.
He's terrible.
I mean, the dude tripped and fell, Bob. I mean, what do you want him to do?
He still had to stay in bounds and stay upright.
Didn't he go like 70 for a touchdown though?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah.
I was like, this can't be. This is some kind of. This got to be some kind of account that screwed up and got the number wrong. This can't be Jefferson.
Tells you everything that you need to know about preseason football.
And,
Tells you everything you need to know. Van Jefferson's going over 70-yard touchdowns.
And here to Vaughn's point and to Tony's point too, yes, Myers is a competent player, but you gotta measure what you're giving up. And also last year, the Raiders might have been the worst roster in football. I mean, really.
Yeah,
it was Brock Bowers. Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty bad roster. Shower curtain. I don't even want to think about it. The dream is past.
They tried that.
Yeah.
I would
think
love
they
to have
threw
Tyreek
everything
Hill on
they
his
could
team.
at Miami to get him.
Do you think
Yeah.
they did? When the whole
The Minka trade.
And they were clearly talking. We know they were talking.
That would be. I would go. I haven't bought a jersey since Troy Polamalu. I would go get a Tyreek Hill jersey immediately if that trade happened.
Yeah,
I'd be the happiest man alive.
And for our man, Big Pun, more and more, we think they need a wide receiver. But
They
I don't
don't.
think they do.
You're right.
They don't.
We keep hearing these reports that the Steelers are scouring, rosters waiting for somebody to be cut, and they did. We just talked about it. They did try to get Tyreek Hill, at least made a call. So I don't know where they stand on the wide receiver position, to be honest.
I think they probably do want to add to the room. I just don't think they're desperate to be like, we'll take literally any body out there, right? I mean, I think they're looking for the quote unquote the one. And also Omar is like a pretty shrewd trade guy. Like he's not gonna overpay for one of these guys too. So I think that makes it more difficult, right? Because you're at a time now where like the only way that the Raiders are getting rid of Jacoby Myers, like we said, is if the Steelers overpay. Like we know Khan's not offering a third, he's not offering a fourth. He might not even offer like a fifth. I mean, this guy might be like, conditional sixth or something like that, right? And that's what we'll give you for him. So that's where I think it's more, to me, it's more likely than not that the wide receiver room we have in Pittsburgh today will be the same one they go to New York with.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that. Big Pun brought this up, and I saw it. He had his Jacoby Myers had his best season last year with just terrible quarterback play. He had 1,000 yards receiving with Aiden O'Connell, and God knows who else throwing the football. That's pretty.
He's the only wide receiver who can catch the ball.
I was just about to say that, Bob. He was
name the other receivers that were on the field.
Yeah.
Just if you can do that, you're definitely a football fan, because nobody knows who the fuck those dudes were. I mean, the actual receivers, not. I mean, Brock Bowers is special, but like, who the fuck were the other receivers? Nobody even knew who these dudes were, where they went to college, if they've been in the NFL before, if they're rookies, if they're UDFAs, did they come off somebody's practice squad? Like, nobody knew these guys.
A Steelers quarterback did get traded to the Raiders. That did happen.
Pickett to the Raiders.
It's
Kenny Pickett to the Raiders.
Wow.
How many teams is he going to finish his career playing for? Is he going for 28? 27? What's the under over? 25? Jesus, Murphy.
You know, that being said, if he keeps Chase Daniel made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you can definitely have a nice living being the backup quarterback for sure.
But he's still on his rookie deal, right? Is Kenny still on his rookie deal?
This is the last year of it.
Yeah, I believe he is. Yeah. Damn.
So,
Kenny Pickett to the Raiders.
Back it up, Gino. I mean, bottom line is, if Vegas's offensive line isn't substantially better, Kenny's probably going to get 4 or 5 games.
he gets to run behind a terrible offensive line again.
I don't know. Daniel Jones goes down. He gets traded to the Colts. Like, it's just, I think he's going to speed run. Like, how fast can you have Ryan Fitzpatrick's career? He's basically on the speed run of that.
Yeah, this is
he can only
right?
wish for
Steelers,
Ryan
Eagles,
Fitzpatrick's career.
Browns. Yeah, 4 teams in 4 years.
Is 4 teams in 4 years. Yeah,
that's crazy.
At least Fitzpatrick, he had that Conor McGregor swagger. He kind of leaned into it. I liked Ryan Fitzpatrick. I thought, I wouldn't want him to be my starting quarterback, but I liked playing against him for sure.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that Tampa game was awesome. What was that Monday night game? They played against Fitz. Yeah. What was your favorite Kenny Pickett moment? Because I don't think he even played in a preseason game for the Browns. I think he only had training camp. He got hurt, and that was it, right?
Yeah.
Tough.
Browns barely knew him.
Tough.
That means your boy Shador makes the team. Anyway, Bob.
He had already made the GM on Saturday during the game said we're keeping 4 quarterbacks. I mean, it turned out they traded Kenny, but they were like, we're not cutting Dylan Gabriel or Shador, and Joe Flacco was the starter. So that meant, and they were like, well, is Kenny Pickett? No, we have plans for Kenny, which they did.
They sure did.
Yeah,
it's pretty screwed up that they only call the good plays for Dylan Gabriel and all the bad plays for Shador.
And that offensive line only blocked for Gabriel too.
I know. Well, they only put the bad offensive lineman in for. I mean, it's pretty. What's going on in Cleveland right now should be investigated, I think.
Yeah,
they really like Dylan Gabriel. They really like him. Don't be surprised if he's a starter early.
He doesn't look half that bad.
He looked pretty good in the preseason. I was reading. He's an analytics. He did really well with the analytics people, and that Cleveland Browns front office is all analytics. So
he looks like the kind of player who will be in the NFL forever, like Chase Daniel style, like.
Yeah, not as a starter though.
Not as a starter, right? No, because he's small. He's got limitations. Like he's got all the problems of like the non-prototypical quarterbacks are going to have. But man, I just could see him being in the league 10, 15 years from now.
I actually think he and Kevin Stefanski are a really, really good fit because he reads and diagnoses plays quickly. He gets the ball out of his hands very quickly. He's efficient and accurate. Stefanski likes like the quick hitter game. Like that's kind of his thing. If you notice, a lot of their big plays are coming from like quick hitter stuff where they turn it into something based on formations. It's not like all these deep balls. And I think that's why him and Deshaun Watson didn't work. Deshaun holds the ball forever. And that was the problem with him and Stefanski.
So does Shador. So that's why he's not a good fit there either. He holds the ball a long time too.
Yeah,
I think they drafted Shador just to sell him later on.
Yes. I think it was someone who maybe it was Albert Breer said this the other day. Like they basically saw Shador as, okay, we're gonna buy low on him and then just try to sell him at some point. Like it's not actually gonna be the future. And I think that's part of the reason why they took him. People get upset about they took him out for the 2-minute warning. I just think they don't want to put any more bad tape out there for him.
Yeah.
Because they're, I think they just want to try and trade him at some point. I think for me, go back to the Dylan Gabriel thing real quick. I think the Dylan Gabriel being good on the Browns thing is the best case scenario for the Steelers. Not that I want the Browns to be good, but like, let's say they bench Flacco by like week 5. Gabriel comes in, they win a bunch of games, they finish like 8-9 or 9-8, somewhere kind of in that crappy middle where they're like, oh, maybe we got something here. And if they were to, for whatever reason, pass on a quarterback in 26, that is the best case scenario.
Absolutely.
For the Steelers.
For sure.
They pass up on great quarterbacks, and they're in quarterback purgatory for the next 3 or 4 years, trying to convince themselves that Dylan Gabriel is a good player. Yeah, absolutely, 100%.
Yes. Huge.
Let's switch gears a little bit. Beanie Bishop. I wanted to talk about him a little bit. He's kind of been MIA lately. I guess he picked up an injury, although has anybody heard what it is exactly, what the injury is?
Kept him out of the last preseason game. Kept him out
completely.
of that game. And kept him out of the game. And Terrell Austin said before the game, like, keep your eyes on Beanie because it's a big game for him. So.
And then Brian Batko reported today that he didn't even see him at the facility at all today. So we were talking I can't see them cutting Beanie Bishop. I know they're deeper at corner this year than they have been forever, maybe my lifetime. But I don't know. He played well enough last year where you'd want to keep him, no?
I love Beanie Bishop.
Trent loves himself some.
Okay, all right. Listen, here's the thing with him. The kid is always around the football.
Okay.
I mean,
he is.
The interceptions, you can say that it was like some of them he made a play on the ball somewhere. Some of it's just right place, right time. I'm sorry, but in the NFL, a lot of interceptions are just right place, right time. Underthrows, overthrows. Sometimes, like, if you're in position to just be there to make a play, I mean, what about the tip ball? He's right there. It's an easy ball that falls to the ground 90% of the time. He makes a play on that ball. Like, he's got to learn more of the X's and O's. That's his biggest issue last year. And I thought you saw progress with him. He's a UDFA. You don't expect him to have elite athleticism and elite coverage skills and elite tackling ability. But he's a good enough tackler. And if he's your nickel guy, after, we don't know what's going to happen with Jalen Ramsey with the contract situation the way it is this year, I'd keep him on your roster because he may very well be your starting nickel next year if you don't go get somebody. I would not dump that kid. There's just something to him. He's always around the ball, and the Mike Hilton comparison gets thrown out a lot with him. But I mean, he's got a little bit of that just right place, right time that Mike Hilton had.
Mike Hilton available, by the way.
His interception against Aaron Rodgers in that Jets game last year was awesome.
It was
legitimately good play. It was a bit of a disrespectful throw by Aaron Rodgers because it was the kind of like, hey, I don't think this rookie can make this play, and then he did. So no, I mean, like, shout out to Beanie. I guess for me, it's just Jalen Ramsey makes him expendable from like they have a starting nickel, right? We know.
Yeah.
That was another weird thing. Like, they actually showed how they're going to use Ramsey against the Panthers, which I thought was really interesting. I thought they would just have him play in one spot and that was it. But like, they had him play a little safety at one point. So I mean, not that you didn't know this from listening to the training camp reports, but I think Ramsey makes him expendable for now as far as a starter. And then like Echols can probably go inside too, right?
Yep.
Yeah, he can. He's much better on the outside though. If you look at his, I don't know. I'm not a huge PFF guy, but if you look at the way they break down his numbers, he was pretty bad in the nickel. He's not great on the outside, but he looked very good in the preseason this year. So
he looked very good in the preseason.
I mean, it comes down to, I think the last spot comes down to Beanie Bishop against Corey Trice, right?
Yes. We talked about that. And how can you trust Corey Trice at this point? I mean,
you can't. You do the UFL. No. I want to believe. Like, I want to believe that one day this kid will stay healthy. We know the talent he has.
Yep.
He is good when he's healthy. It's just, that happens like 6 plays a year.
Yeah, I mean, you could cut Corey Trice and get him on the practice squad without an issue. And I think that's the way I would go. Let him get completely healthy. I don't even know if that's ever going to happen. But leave him on the practice squad for a couple of weeks and keep Beanie Bishop, because you're risking, and I know Beanie Bishop's not a superstar, but you lose him in lieu of Corey Trice, and then Corey Trice comes back for a game, gets hurt, and he's out for 8 weeks. That math doesn't work for me.
Right, but I guess for me, it goes back to what Trent was saying, right? Which is, look, if the argument is we're going to stash the 6th corner or 7th corner, whatever the number is, You're going to stash this corner for next year. Right? This is not a guy we expect to play today, but it's an important piece for next year. I mean, I think all the things that Trent said about Beanie Bishop, I would say about Corey Trice and where they are at outside corner next year, because we know Slay's not going to be here next year, right? And so they're going to need another outside corner next year. Look, I'm with you guys on like, can you trust Corey Trice to stay healthy? I'm on board for that. Don't get me wrong, but to me, outside corner is a more dire need next year than slot, because Ramsey's on the roster at this point. Now, I agree with you, Trent. We'll see like what contract shenanigans they have to make that work. But like Corey Trice could be an option as starting outside corner next year. Again, this is all under the caveat asterisk, like if he could stay healthy.
Sure.
That's a big asterisk.
I think so. I'm going to counter that argument a little bit, because I think because Brandon Echols has looked so good on the outside, that really makes Corey Trice expendable. He can be your backup to either Joey Porter or Slay. Of course, you can still always move Ramsey back outside if you really don't even necessarily trust that you have somebody there with Echols going into the regular season. Yeah. Maybe Echols slides inside in that scenario. Like, I think because of Ramsey's versatility, because Echols has looked so good, Trice is the more expendable piece. The biggest issue, in my opinion, is that Beanie does not play a lot of special teams, which is what he needed to make this team. But really, they tried Corey Trice on special teams last year, and he looked pretty terrible in special teams.
Yeah, so I wouldn't put him on special teams.
It's a wash with special teams, and that therefore I think the Echols thing kind of is what leads me to say, all right, go ahead and dump Trice. Keep Beanie, because there's more of a future for Beanie, in my opinion.
I'm just jumping here real quick. I'll tell you right now, I truly believe the sixth cornerback is coming from a waiver or a trade. It's not going to be Beanie Bishop. They're going to get somebody off. It's not going to be Trice. It's going to be somebody that gets cut who they have some hope for.
Do you think they're cutting both?
Either cut.
No,
I think they.
Andy?
Yeah, I think they'll try to cut both of them and get them both to the practice squad. But that being said, I also look, Beanie, yeah, he's around the ball. He's a nice kid. He's a good story. But he's an undrafted free agent who, bottom line, is an undersized nickel corner. And you've got two.
Impossible. Every slot corner is undersized.
Yeah.
Did he put enough on tape to get claimed, though, if they cut him? I mean, is some team... I know we overrate our guys, and we say that all the time. He's never going to make the practice squad, but I feel like Beanie Bishop did.
How's West Virginia look this year? Maybe they'll claim him.
Oh,
wow! I think you guys said this on the last show, so we don't have to like rehash it. But I do think Trice is more likely to be put on a practice squad. Like the chance of him getting claimed on waivers, given his injury history, is pretty low. Yeah. No, the worry that you would have if you let these guys go, they don't have to choose your practice squad.
Yeah, that's
right. Beanie could look at this roster and be like, Jalen Ramsey's under contract for how many more years? See you.
Yeah.
Which is a reason to keep him on the roster.
That's a risk too, 100%. It's a great conversation, the Steelers being this deep at corner, because this is very unusual for us.
Deep at corner, deep at D-line, deep at inside linebacker. Sneaky deep at wide receiver. Maybe not at the top, but deep. Not at the top, but deep. Are we ready? Are we ready, Dave?
Ready? No, not yet.
Huh?
I want to see it.
Omar.
I want to see it a little bit more. I want to see a little more.
Hold on. Deep at quarterback? Deep at quarterback?
Well, let's settle down. Down. I mean, Jesus Christ. It's Skylar Thompson and Mason Rudolph.
Hall of Fame, Skylar Thompson.
You guys love Connor Hayward deep at tight end. They're keeping 4 according to you guys. I listened to your show last time. You guys all of you agreed on Connor Hayward.
Do you disagree that they're going to keep 4?
I disagreed on Connor Hayward. Let me just raise my hand.
Oh, did you? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
I thought you guys all agreed on it, but no, they're going to keep 4. Of course, they're going to keep 4. Connor Hayward he's
a lock.
Yeah, he's 1A on the roster.
It's like Mike Tomlin's
Beanie goes,
pet.
I think Connor Hayward is a lock. If Beanie stays,
no, Connor's staying. I don't like it, but Connor's staying. Although I did think Mark Robinson was staying too, and I was wrong on that. So take it for what it's worth. But
yeah, when we went through it, I mean, 52, 53rd man. I mean, yeah, maybe, but do I keep 4 tight ends over 5 corners, or only keep 5 corners?
No, they're going to keep 6 and 4, and they'll figure it out in another position. I think they
They'll
keep
cut
6
somewhere
corners
else.
and 4 tight ends. Yeah, there's wiggle room. I mean,
How are you guys feeling about the Steelers' offensive line right now? Because I think this is like this is the season to me. Like it all comes down to how the offensive line does. I've been like pretty okay with Broderick Jones on the left side, and then on the right side, I mean,
yeah, Fulton's been great.
Fulton's looked awesome.
Stud.
Yeah.
The depth is the only scary part.
It's given me some optimism, that offensive line.
Yep.
It's really going to come down to the guards. And if Sayamalu can play league average, and I think Mason McCormick is already an above average run blocker, we got to see the pass blocking, but the tackles are solid. Zach Frazier is solid. If the guard play is just good, slightly above average, this is a good offensive line.
If you guys remember back a few weeks, I said my one guy I'm most worried about on the offensive line was Isaac Sayamalu.
Yeah.
I said it weeks ago, maybe a month ago.
The
Broderick Jones on the left side has looked okay. His hand placement's still kind of jacked up, but he's getting away with it. He's kind of doing this like double underhook type placement. I'm like not sure what the hell he's doing, but it's working for him right now.
He's been doing that his whole career at Georgia.
And
He's doing that.
Going back to college, he doesn't.
Yeah, he's doing like a ghost move with his punch, and it's like throwing dudes off, and then he brings his hands up underneath it. I'm like, what are you doing? And I'm like, all right, he's got this. Fuck it, whatever. Like, if it's working, it's working, buddy. Whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, he's gonna be like he's been doing that really since college. You go back to his college tape, it was all it was not technique, it was all athlete. And the hope was like they can make it work in the pros. Yeah, I do. It's maybe a little smoke to your point, Trey. Maybe it is a little smoke and mirrors in preseason right now. Although he's gone up against some decent edge rushers, right? Because
Hines Allen.
Yeah, Jacksonville played their starters. I can't remember if the starter in Tampa played.
I think they played their starters.
I know
right?
who you're talking about.
They had the first series at least. I think they were playing.
Yeah, so like he's been good enough. I mean, certainly better than he's been as a right tackle.
Yeah,
but to your point, Sayamalu, if he's not good, or if he's struggling, there's no one else to go to. The depth is what scares me.
Spencer Anderson has been fine.
Yeah, the Spencer Anderson erasure on this show has been too much. Spencer Anderson has been perfectly adequate.
Yeah, he's fine. Like he's played fine.
The guy that I worry about on this offensive line who has not played well in preseason, but everyone's kind of like, well, whatever. He's great last year, so that can't. What I just watched can't be true. Like Zach Frazier got pushed around a little bit. Zach Frazier has been legitimately pushed around. Now, some tough matchup like Vita Vea, obviously. Yeah. I'm not expecting Zach Frazier to look like an All-Pro against Vita Vea, but still, there's
a little sophomore slump.
Yeah, well, it's just like it is possible we see a sophomore slump from Zach Frazier. I'm not ready to be like last year was a mirage or anything like that, but just if we're going to call space, we're going to call Broderick's been playing well, Faltara's been playing well, right? Like all these guys going through the list. Like, all right, well, let's just also say like Frazier maybe didn't have the best preseason.
This offensive line just has to be top half of the league. If they're somewhere around 15, 16, this team offensively can do some things. If they're back down to the bottom third of the league again, we're in trouble.
I do worry that the offense is going to be Alan Saunders said this, like the offense is, or no, maybe it was Caboli. One of the two was like, this offense is going to be a lot of run the ball and then a lot of quick game, like get the ball out of Rodgers' hands. And I feel like and the preseason is maybe not the best judgment of this. I feel like this is a better pass blocking offensive line than it is a run blocking offensive line right now.
I think you're 100% right.
Based on what I've seen in preseason. And it's weird because like that's the opposite of what this team really needs.
Or what they want. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I think they are better pass blockers than run blockers right now. And I haven't been impressed with the run game in the preseason, other than my man Lou Nichols. I think they're going to struggle running the ball early on. Where do you fall on Caleb Johnson? Are you a Caleb Johnson truther? Tony, you have some reservations?
Does Caleb Johnson have juice is the question you're asking me today. And the answer to that question is
So you we're in the same camp here. I'm not.
Okay, here's
I'm
the thing.
not-
No. Hold on. Here's what I'll say about Caleb Johnson. He's not a burner. Quite clearly, he's not a burner. But I do think that first game was not like you really got to erase that first game from memory. He was very clearly like hesitant. You know, that was his first big game. Like it clearly got to him. Also, the offensive line was terrible in that game. I mean, he was, and I get it. You want to be able to beat the first guy and like make the first man miss and all this. But when it's a bad thing to say about a running back, but like when things go right and he can do his like one cut up he's a good, that is him at his best. If the picture gets a little muddy for him, I do worry in his rookie year, like he may struggle a little bit. But here's what I'll say about Caleb Johnson. Le'Veon Bell, James Conner, they both went through like a rookie year where they had some growing pains, and they also did a like body change. Like they were very clearly better athletes year 2 than they were year 1. And I'm not going to rule that out for Caleb Johnson either. Like I haven't been blown away by Caleb Johnson in the preseason so far. But I'm also not ready to say like, because I saw you already comparing him to Najee and everything. And like, I'm not ready to go there yet.
We the progression of this podcast was we liked the pick. We talked ourselves into him having some speed, well, we talked about the GPS had him at, some crazy 20-mile-an-hour thing. And I myself got hyped up for him. And then I watch him week 1 of the preseason, and he looks alarmingly slow. Now, he got better in weeks 2 and 3. He got a little better. But I think to your point, it looks to me like it's got to be perfect for him. It's got to have that cutback lane. It's got to be there. And if it's not, I think I remember 5, 6, 7 times where he ran straight into the back of an offensive lineman and got tackled. Like
That was week 1. That was week 1.
That was every game. Every game.
That was week 1.
There was a couple of them.
Look, I'm not 100% sold on him playing, but we've talked about this. Yes, he ran up a little bit, but the one thing he has, and it's already 100 times better than Najee, and we saw this in games 2 and 3. When he cuts back, he finds the hole. He hits the right hole on the cutback. He's a great, to me, he should be running counters because I think he's a great counter runner. He's doing that one cut back, but I would like to see some counters. Some of the old Reds, or well, whatever the fuck you call them. Some of the old Washington counter trade type plays.
Yeah, watch yourself. It's Commanders.
Yeah, right. Don't say that. I don't know.
Listen, I'm still in the Caleb Johnson camp. I'm telling you right now, this kid's going to explode. Just give him a minute to get his feet wet. He's going to explode. Last game, I get it. It's the third string guys for Carolina.
Yeah.
Jalen had 2 carries for 3 yards. Caleb had 2 carries for 15 yards against behind the first string offensive line. That's an apples to apples comparison. He's still outgained Jalen.
Jalen had 1 callback for holding. He had a 6-yard run callback for holding. So I want that on the record.
Not to mention the fact that even though he fumbled in the passing game, you could see Jalen Warren is still the most dynamic back we have.
Yes.
Even though he fumbled, he's still good.
Yeah,
which will cost him his job.
No, that will cost
I
him
love
his job.
Jalen, but if he lays that football down against the Jets, we might not see him again.
It's a big problem for him because it was, yeah.
It's too bad too because he's like you said, he's clearly the most dynamic back they have.
Yeah,
I thought Caleb was going to take off faster than he has. He's you can see that he's not quite comfortable yet, even though the scheme is the same. I mean, largely the same as what he ran against, at Iowa. He's still not comfortable, and he's running behind, the second and third string guys most of the time. Like, give him some time behind the first string offensive line and let him understand, because he is largely a patient runner. And you could see game 2 and game 3, he was starting to, the internal clock was picking up a little bit, and he was starting to get where he was getting to the hole before it closed up. So I think it's coming. He's going to take a couple of weeks probably to really settle in. But when this kid hits his stride, I'm telling you, this kid is going to be fucking dynamic.
He can run like you were saying, Trent. He ran a lot of outside zone at Iowa. Obviously, they're going to run a lot of that here. and he has the skill set to be that one cut and go. Like if they can make that work, I agree with Trent. Like I do think Caleb Johnson, in a world where this offensive line turns a corner, Caleb Johnson is the perfect back for what Arthur Smith wants to run.
Yeah.
Yep. I mean, that's all we heard in the lead up to this is that this is a perfect system for him. He's the perfect back for Arthur Smith. We'll see. He's
21 with one real full year as a lead back in college. He's young. He's inexperienced. I'm telling you that. Listen, you put it in the file, Dave. Put it in the file. This kid is going to fucking explode, and people are going to be like,
I don't see the burst, and I don't care if you're a 1 year player. And for lack of a better term, I don't know how else to describe it.
Yeah, but the burst for Le'Veon didn't come till year 2.
But Le'Veon's a whole. We talked about that.
Fat his first year. Like he actually looked overweight a little bit.
Le'Veon's a whole different animal. You can't compare Le'Veon to any back because he would stop in the hole.
Connor did the same thing.
Connor was a little different, but yeah, you're right. It was similar. But I don't know. I don't see any of Le'Veon Bell at all and Caleb Johnson. None. Zero.
Well, again, I'm not trying to compare the players. I'm trying to compare just let's not get ahead of ourselves with a rookie running back and just say athletically he cannot improve anywhere because I do think
I'm not making any
running backs get better.
I'm not making any permanent predictions that he's going to suck. Period. I'm just saying what I'm seeing right now is
I already heard on Twitter. You said, and I quote, he's no better than Najee. And he's a bust of a pick. That's what I read on Twitter.
That's what everybody came at me with. Boy, I'll tell you that.
Because
even though the first 3 words of that tweet were, "It's early, but ... Nobody read that. They went straight to the Najee comparison. Listen, and to be honest, I think Najee was a little better earlier on than we'll wait till the season starts. But
he really wasn't. He was always. Najee is.
Talk about bad offensive lines. Najee had probably the worst of all time his rookie year.
And it doesn't matter what offensive line that guy runs behind. He has no vision and he has no burst. He was a pretty good receiver his rookie year, but he's never been. He breaks the line and you're like, oh my God, that could go. It's 8 yards down the field, and all 11 guys are tackling him because he can't run away from anybody.
Look, I was the biggest Najee Harris critic around. I'm not gonna sit here and pine for him, but
all right. Najee Harris in his first 3 games as a Steeler had 45 yards, 38 yards, and 40 yards, and he was a starter. Caleb Johnson is not going to start. So let's just set the over/under. So that's 40 yards a game. It's 120 yards ish. So let's set the over/under for his first 3 games. Caleb Johnson 100 yards total in his first 3 games. Over/under.
100 yards total.
100 yards games.
He's gonna have that by game 2.
No, I wouldn't say game 2. By 3 for sure.
50 a game? Oh, yeah.
And don't forget, I mean, I just said it, but go back and read off that offensive line that Najee Harris played behind his rookie season.
That's the same
it was
old
an
tired
all-timer.
Najee excuse. It's the same old tired Najee excuse. Najee ran behind the Alabama offensive line and didn't have a 40-yard run in fucking college, okay? He has no burst. He's a one-trick pony. He got drafted off of hurdling a Notre Dame fucking defender. He's not that good. You want to know how I know he's not that good? He became a free agent, and he's the 3rd-string running back in the Chargers.
He's not.
Second string.
Yeah, I mean, it was.
You're telling me that Dan Moore, Kevin Dotson, Kendrick Green, Trey Turner, and Chuks Okorafor is not a good offensive line?
I mean, they signed Trey Turner like 2 weeks before the season started, didn't they? A week before? They had no guard at that point. That was awful.
The only reason that team didn't go further is because they played the Mahomes Chiefs in that playoffs. I mean, that's really the only reason that team didn't go any further.
I still have nightmares about that team.
You know what? I mean, think about it. Ben beat the Ravens on the road to get them in the playoffs. I mean, it's still. I was pretty happy with Ben his last year.
Najee was a Pro Bowler his rookie year, by the way. Najee was a Pro Bowler his rookie year.
Yeah.
What does that say about the Pro Bowl? Oh, he did have 1,000 yards. We can go there and get Bob really riled up. Just not doing the math about 1,000-yard rushers.
Bob, can you name another running back in the last 4 years who's had 1,000 yards every single year?
Can I name the guy who was 50th in the NFL in yards per carry last year? Yes, I can.
The yards per carry
1,000
thing
yards-
gets him every time. It
Yeah,
just, it,
1,000 yards
it
means
sums him up.
nothing. It's 17 games.
Then
It's
how come
50
everybody
yards
else
a
isn't
game.
doing it?
I mean, there's something to be said for his durability. I mean, he stayed on the field and took every snap. I mean, that first year, didn't he lead the team? Didn't he have like over 300 touches?
300 carries.
Yeah.
300 carries that year, and that doesn't even count the 94 targets he had.
Yeah, it was almost 400 touches that year. It was
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah.
And the guy didn't miss many games. So this, I guess, it's something to be said for availability.
By the
right?
way,
That's what they say.
I just wanna
He's
say,
nice
Bob.
to children, from what we hear. I mean, I don't want him as my running back. I just don't. Look. Bottom line is, it's more of an analytic league. Most really good running backs who do get the 1,000 yards, they're getting 200, 250 carries. Najee is a volume guy who, if Trent Richardson kind of guy, if you give him 400 carries, yeah, fine. But the guy is a borderline, and he's a 50-yard a game back. He's not a game breaker. He's not even really a workhorse because all you hear is the excuse of, the line wasn't very good. No, he ran. But you watch that guy. This is why I like Caleb Johnson.
They only called the good plays for Jalen Warren. They only called the good plays for Jalen Warren. That's what happened. I mean,
This is why I like Caleb Johnson over him, though, because Caleb Johnson in those same holes, that same line, he's finding the seam and going.
Sure, against the Carolina Panthers, fourth string. Literally.
Cutting into the right hole is something Najee Harris we saw it for 4 years. He cannot do it.
we got to clip these Dave things because Caleb Johnson. I'm starting to get upset. I'm starting to get on behalf of Caleb Johnson.
I'm just saying, I got to see it. I have to see it because I haven't seen it yet. He feels like a guy, and we'll get over this, but he feels like a guy that takes a while to get up to full speed, and he needs that big hole because he's and that's why he ran the bad 40. I'm telling you, he's slow on the block.
Well, I just think he needs to be able to see. Like I think for him, comfortability is going to be the biggest thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's going to have to be able to see the picture and be able to make that cut and go. I don't think he's going to be the kind of guy who's like going to beat people in space all the time.
Yeah, go back and watch the first game. He's chopping his feet in the backfield. That is not a good. Then go back and watch his Iowa tape. He never does that. That is comfort level. That is not quite understanding where he needs to be. What the hole's not supposed to be there. They're like, where's his cutback lanes? That's an understanding of playbook and comfortability. Like that's a rookie. I think once he gets that out of his system, I'm telling you, this kid is going to take off because his vision is phenomenal. It's not just good. He has phenomenal vision. He sees cutback lanes that aren't there in the playbook. He sets up cutback lanes when the first lane's out. I mean, I'm telling you, go watch his tape. He can create something out of nothing. He has that patience. Similar, not as patient as what we had with Le'Veon, but like he's got that ability to sit there and say, okay, this isn't here. I need to set up a block here so I can get to this cutback lane over here.
Yeah.
Najee didn't have that. He was just, I'm going to pound it up there and I'm going to see if I can get 3 yards out.
And the best thing for the Steelers right now is that they're not counting on Caleb Johnson to be the guy, right? I mean, they have Jalen Warren there who can be running back one. And then honestly, like Gainwell, he can provide some things on third down. So, Caleb Johnson, even if he does, like in the worst case scenario, Dave, where he really does struggle this year and he's not comfortable, like they can almost afford, given where they are at the running back position, a semi redshirt year for him.
100%.
And run this back a year from now.
Yeah, 100%. I agree with that. I mean, and it's fine. I haven't given completely up on it. Like,
let's look at the bright side. He's already a better kick returner than fucking Cordero Patterson was.
Oh, listen, again,
he gets past 15 yards.
Sometimes with the Steelers, these low bars, you can't even. You just can't. Vaughn said the Browns got a fifth for Kenny Pickett. Let's talk about the Steelers quarterback situation real quick. They have 4 quarterbacks. We all thought Will Howard is going to the IR. He seems like he's healthy now. Does one of these guys get traded? I know it's not the end of the world if Skylar Thompson gets cut, but he had a hell of a preseason.
This is what I love about preseason. This is what I love about preseason is that we get ourselves all riled up about shit that absolutely does not matter. And then like guys who will barely remember that they were even on the roster 5 years from now. where like in the moment it just feels like this is everything. And I do love the Skylar Thompson versus Mason Rudolph stuff because this is what I miss the most about doing these podcasts is getting into really like I was telling you guys before the show.
Get in the weeds.
I was laughing hysterically at some of the arguments you guys were having on the last show when you guys were doing the 53-man roster prediction. Like the Jalen Ramsey stuff was incredible. The Mason versus Skylar stuff has been awesome. Like just on this show, but like on Twitter in general. Because like let's be honest. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
5 years from now, neither of these guys is going to be on the roster. Yeah. And if Skylar Thompson gets cut tomorrow, we're barely going to remember that he was even on the roster 5 years from now, right? Now that being said, you do need to pick a side. This is a war. We're at war here, people. Okay, everyone's got to pick a side. We need to know: are you on Mason's side or are you on Skylar's side? That's where we are in preseason. I am Team Mason Rudolph. I love what Skylar did. Don't get me wrong. But we're not going to base Mason Rudolph's entire thing on 2 games. He had 2 bad games, one bad throw against Tampa, and then an awful throw against Carolina. But really, against Carolina, he never looked. In the Caleb Johnson defense, he just never looked comfortable in that game. So I'm going to throw the whole tape out. I'm going to throw the whole tape out in that one because he never looked comfortable. Mason Rudolph deserves a lot of credit for what he did at the end of 2020. What year is it? 2023.
You're one of those guys. The 2023 guys.
The last 4 games of 2023 is some of the best quarterback tape we've seen in Pittsburgh since Ben Roethlisberger retired. In fact, it might be the best tape of any quarterback since Ben Roethlisberger retired.
I'm going to keep going that low bar thing. The low bar thing.
So we're throwing out 2 games of the preseason, but we're not throwing out 3 games of the regular season.
You're goddamn right.
I love it.
Yeah, our man Chris Gillespie asked a good question here. We think the Raiders choosing Hurt Pickett over Sanders? No, I don't. I don't think.
No.
I don't think they even.
Was Sanders even on the market? I don't.
He wasn't available.
He wasn't available because they're
we
going to
talked
sell
about it.
They can't sell now.
This Dash and Sanders still has one good preseason game. They're going to sell him off to some stupid team. They're going to give him like a 3rd or a 4th for him.
Look, Flacco's probably going to be benched by week 6. Dylan Gabriel will be hurt 3 plays into his.
No, we need him to be healthy and good.
Yeah, you missed that part. We need a good Dylan Gabriel this year.
I was listening. I heard. I totally agree. We want Cleveland to be good, but what we want is them to. Because look, I think Dylan Gabriel is pretty good. As better than I thought he would be, honestly.
Yeah.
But what we really need is for Shador to have 4 good games. And then they buy into that hype because their fans are delusional that right now they think he's a franchise fucking quarterback. And look, I still think he'd be an okay starter in the league. I never thought he's a franchise quarterback. I thought he'd be a top 15, 20 starter in the league. But bottom line is if he's that, and he doesn't have to be that for long. 4 games, I think Tony's right. They pass on quarterback.
This is why I thought their draft strategy of like just accumulate quarterbacks. I said, listen, I think this is a stupid strategy because you can get into a situation where if you squint and you go, maybe one of these guys actually is a franchise quarterback. That's a terrible place to be in. That's where the Steelers were almost at with Kenny Pickett.
Yeah, exactly. And especially in a year where you expect the quarterback class to be so good the following year. I mean, what are you doing loading up on quarterbacks in a bad year when you know the next season's is loaded with quarterbacks? It just doesn't make any sense to me.
One other thing I want to touch on real quick, and then we can go back to Skylar Thompson versus Mason Rudolph. But Bob, I heard what you said about my boy Drew Aller on the last show, and how dare you? How dare you? Quarterback 1.
I love it.
Quarterback 1 at Penn State. It means fuck all in the NFL. Terry Collins. I mean, think about it. They've been playing football in Penn State for 190 years. Okay, they've had one competent NFL quarterback in their entire history, and it was Kerry Collins, who was pretty good. But
we're just going to erase Christian Hackenberg from he was the 2nd round pick. We're just going to erase Christian Hackenberg from the entire.
I think a lot of people are trying to erase Christian Hackenberg in their memory.
Arguably the 2nd best Penn State quarterback of all time.
I said it on a previous podcast. If he brought up, Drew Aller is going to throw an interception in the national championship game. I said, if he makes the national championship game, he's going to be the number 1 overall pick.
Depends on how good. Okay, well, if Arch, okay, that I know. And
We're taking Arch out of the we're taking Arch out of the conversation. Yeah, Arch is out of the
How
conversation.
far does South Carolina make it with Lenora Sellers? Is the other question.
It's a good point.
Because
still,
Sellers has everything.
People are comparing Aller to whatchamacallit in Buffalo. They think he could
Josh
be.
Allen.
He's got the size. He doesn't run quite as well as Josh Allen, but he runs adequately.
Oh, he's a good athlete. No, he's like he's athletic. Yeah.
He's got a good arm. He's what NFL evaluators dream about in a quarterback. If he ends up getting that monkey off his back, yeah.
He just has no, like last year with Tyler Warren was the only competent receiver that he had.
Yeah.
And like I will look. Obviously, he makes some dumb decisions. He does make some dumb decisions. You're not going to watch Drew Aller tape and be like, "Wow, what a cerebral guy! He's so smart out there." No, like, Drew Aller can be an absolute panicked moron. But I do think part of that is like there's a muddy picture that he's looking at Penn State because it ain't like he's got a bunch of 5 stars who he's throwing to at wide receiver. Now their receiver room should be better this year, but it's part of the reason why with the Will Howard evaluation gets so difficult at Ohio State because like he was throwing to like 5 future first round wide receivers. It's not that difficult. When you're Will Howard, it's not that difficult to throw a good route to Jeremiah Smith or like throw a catch and run to Jeremiah Smith and he makes something happen. Or Emeka Egbuka or Cardell Tate or the list goes on and on.
That team's level with skilled position players.
And that's another school with a sorted quarterback history, although CJ Stroud looks like he might be their one.
Yeah, it only takes one to change the narrative, That's all it takes.
No, it takes one to finally break through after 100+ years.
That's what I mean. But yeah, to your point on Lenora Sellers, he could be, he could end up being special too, and that'd be interesting. That'd be an interesting decision if you get the number 1 pick. And Aller had a great season, and Norris had a great season, and
well, I mean, look, there's
Clemson.
Garrett Nussmeier from LSU, Cade Klubnik from Clemson, Sam Levitt from Arizona State, who there's already rumors that the Steelers really like him.
Yeah.
Okay.
The kid in Indiana, Mendoza, is supposed to be pretty good.
Mendoza that Derek Bell loves Mendoza. I've never seen Mendoza play football before, but I'll be watching Indiana tape.
Yeah, definitely watch him. He has traits. He's not Sellers traits, but he's the closest thing to Sellers traits I think that's coming out.
Who else has traits in college? If we had to name one other quarterback who's like more traits right now than
I think you have to say Arch's traits because he's only thrown the ball 90 times.
Drew Aller. The joke is Drew Aller. Drew Aller is the traits guy.
Drew Aller, definitely. I mean, traits for days. That's what I mean. If he wins games and he gets a national championship again, people are going to drool over him.
Penn State guy, first overall pick, Steelers in Pittsburgh. Come on. I mean, this is NFL scripted, guys. I don't know.
It's written in the stars. It's got to make it happen.
There's no way.
Well, you need a team that doesn't need a quarterback to get the first overall pick because if they do, they're not trading it.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you go from there. But
even if they do, what are you going to give up to get the number 1 overall pick?
You have to mortgage the future.
2 first and probably TJ.
No, I don't even think teams would want TJ. Well, it depends on the team. You'd have to give up like 3 first rounders. I'm betting.
I'm not selling the future to trade up in this draft. There's just no way. There's too many quality quarterbacks.
I guess you could make that argument.
Assuming the Steelers are at 20 in this draft, which I think is probably right, because that's where they always are, 18, 21. And they probably move up to like 10, right? I mean, that's like as high as they'll go.
Yeah.
10, 9, something like that. It probably costs them a first and a third or something like that.
That's why we're watching a lot of Mendoza, a lot of Mateer, a lot of there's a kid in Baylor that's supposed to be pretty good.
Mateer's a stretch. He's not a first round pick. He's definitely not a first round pick.
I don't think Mateer should even come out.
Yeah.
He should stay in college.
I haven't watched enough of him to make any decisions. I've seen a little bit of him.
This draft's going to be really good. The next draft, if Arch doesn't come out, could potentially have Arch. I believe that's when Lagway is available, right? Because Lagway would have been
Yep.
Yeah.
Julian Sayin.
Yeah. Sayin and then the Mateer guy. So that could be,
We already have rumors that Rodgers could come back another season. I think.
Well, I think anytime, he could pull an Elway and retire after winning the Super Bowl, or he could come back and try to defend the Super Bowl, I think is what he's saying there.
So we need a Super Bowl to make that happen.
The Steelers haven't picked higher than 8th since Barry Bradshaw.
Yeah, they'd have
Was that Troy Edwards? Was Troy Edwards 8?
I want to say Plaxico was 8.
Or was it
Troy
Plaxico?
Edwards
Yeah,
could have been 8. They've
trying to
had
remember
8
who
a
was-
couple of times. I
Okay.
want to say there was the tackle bust. Was
Jeremy Stevens.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
want to say
Was
he
he
was
8?
8.
Whoa.
I don't. I
The
know
Steelers'
that
history
one
of
of
tackles.
Troy Edwards or Plaxico was a top 10 pick. Because remember that was Chad Pennington year. Was Plaxico, right?
I
Or
think it
was
might have
that
been
Troy Edwards?
Plaxico. I remember Plaxico being pretty high.
Looking it up
Vaughn,
now.
Vaughn in the chat trying to get us to evaluate guys who's not even played in college yet to see if they're NFL quarterbacks.
Yeah,
Plaxico-
Bryce Underwood.
Plaxico
who
was 8.
was 8.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, all I do, Javon, is sit around and watch Bryce Underwood high school tape. So I think we're ready to make an NFL evaluation there.
I hear Nussmeier's could have some chronic injury now. I don't know if he's the guy.
I think Nussmeier's peaked. I think this is as good as he gets, and he's a gunslinger.
Is he old?
He's good. No, he's not old. I think he is a true junior, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I think he's a true junior. I think he's going to be 22 when he comes out.
Good. I'm just tired of the COVID year guys. Like the guys who are 27-year-old seniors
Yeah.
were playing against 19-year-olds. Like this is stupid. Can we get
Dylan Gabriel? He was another one.
Yes, exactly.
Thank God you just made it to the NFL. You're about to be 30 in your next contract.
I mean, big pun here. I mean, yeah, I know you guys are talking about it. I like Nussmeier, but I mean, come on now. He's a top 6-ish, 7-ish. Because like Trent is saying, the gunslinger trade is real. You got LSU wide receivers and you can't fucking be consistent. I mean, come on, it's college.
Well, I heard today, I was listening to McShay's podcast, and they loaded up. They got a couple transfers at LSU. Supposedly, they're going to be pretty good this year. They got NIL guys, and so we'll see how it goes. If they're good, LSU quarterback.
Look, I said
We'll
2
see.
years ago, trade the farm for Jaden Daniels. He's the best quarterback in that class. I'm telling you right now, trade the farm for Lenore Sellers. He's the best quarterback in his class.
I like Sellers a
Anthony
lot.
Richardson, and
I
he's got
love
the same
that-
accuracy issues too, though.
No, Yeah.
He does.
65% completion percentage, Dave. Anthony Richardson was 48% his whole last year in college.
Couldn't complete 65% of his
I
handoffs.
made the mistake of bringing up Richardson. I
Who
shouldn't have done
was-
that.
Yeah, no, Andrew Richardson was great. Who was Richardson's coach? Was that the first year of the current Florida guy? What's his name?
I believe so. I think that was his first year.
Louisiana guy.
Yeah, it's at the tip of my tongue, and I can't think of it.
Yeah.
Napier?
Billy Napier. Thank you.
Yeah.
That was the first year of Napier, right?
Right.
Yes,
Okay.
I believe so.
Because I think Napier is actually a decent, quarterback friendly guy. Hell, that Wisconsin quarterback who went there actually looked kind of decent for a couple games under Billy Napier.
Look, Sid here. Let me tell you something, buddy.
I'm waiting for that. I'm
If
waiting.
you
I'm
didn't
dying
live
for
through
it.
the Cordell Stewart years,
I'm dying for it.
Whoa!
I mean, Anthony
no Cordell
Richardson,
Stewart. No Cordell Stewart erasure on this show.
Anthony Richardson is the downgraded, bastardized version of Cordell Stewart. He cannot throw the ball.
Jesus Christ.
Tim Tebow was a more accurate passer.
Yeah, that's true.
And he's
I hated Anthony Richardson in that class.
Adam Thielen got traded?
Adam Thielen's on the market.
Oh.
Okay,
He is. I've
interesting.
been hearing that a lot.
Interesting.
There's rumors he's going back to the Vikings. I've heard that a couple times. The Vikings are
would
trying to
go-
get him back.
I've seen that
Addison
too.
get hurt.
What's that?
I think they're trying to bring him in as a third receiver.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty
'Cause-
stout.
Load up for JJ.
Jettis is hurt right now. I don't know what his week 1 status would be, but he was banged up. I know that.
Thielen would
Thank
be
you.
interesting for the series.
Speaking of which, I'm curious if so I've heard a lot of fantasy stuff coming up here for us in the next week or so, but DK Metcalf is going super high in fantasy drafts. Just a little tip if you haven't drafted yet. No Arthur Smith receiver has ever had more than 117 targets in a season. So if you're drafted DK as wide receiver 1, I love him. I think he's going to have a lot of big plays for us. But if fantasy-wise, please take it from me. Don't do it.
Yeah, I think if you look at this offense, look, DK is probably going to get his share of targets, I would assume. But I think Bob's right because you really think about this offense and where they're positioned right now, and you have to wonder how many targets Scotty Miller is going to take from DK right now. And that's the big word. That's the big thing that I'm thinking. I love Scotty
Jesus
Miller.
Christ.
Out Washington.
Jesus Christ. Oh man. I did see
Super Bowl champion Scotty Miller.
the NFL had their top one.
He's my new James Pierre, Duck Hodges. Like, I love Scotty Miller. Talking about getting jerseys. Like, I want a Scotty Miller jersey.
And Big Pun, if they were at LSU, they were great wide receivers. You don't believe me? Take a look at the last 10 years of LSU wide
LSU has had a fucking.
If we're going to consider LSU wide receivers bad, then I mean, what the hell are we going to say Drew Aller's playing with in Penn State right now? Like,
yeah, please.
Just because they're not coming out in the draft because they're not old enough doesn't mean they're not good.
So
they're going to have one coming into this draft, I guarantee you.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure. The NFL came up with somebody came up with the top 100 guys in the NFL, and the Steelers only had two, T.J. Watt and was it Cam Hayward? I think.
Cam.
Is there anybody else?
Jalen Ramsey wasn't in the top 100.
No, he was not. That's Jalen Ramsey, and I thought DK Metcalf maybe were candidates for that, but they were not.
Are you talking about the actual NFL top 100 list, or this is a different list?
No, I think it's the NFL top 100 list that came out.
Because Jalen Ramsey was.
I thought Jalen Ramsey's on there.
Oh wait,
but he wasn't.
Then it's different.
He wasn't a Steeler when that list came out.
Right.
Oh, maybe that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, that was pre-trade.
Yeah,
maybe that's it. I didn't even think of that.
I accept no Jalen slander on this podcast.
Like I said, calling
when
out
you think
the
about
kickers.
Boz should have been on the list. I like that.
Yeah, maybe. If you're gonna throw a kicker on there, right? He is the best kicker in the league. When you think about it, how many blue chippers does this team actually have? Like lock, Pro Bowl, All Pro type players on this team. It's TJ, and that's it.
Cam Hayward,
Jalen Ramsey.
I don't even know if you put Cam Hayward at 36. Blue chip.
Don't even get me started.
Why are you tempting me?
Don't
Why?
get me started.
Look. We're an hour and 15 minutes in. We can't go there. We cannot go there. We cannot go there.
3-hour podcast tonight, boys.
But in all seriousness, I mean, I'll even give you Cam. So that's 2. DK 3 and Jalen maybe 4.
Jalen. Okay. Can I
don't know
throw
if
some
I
other
don't
names
know.
out there? Vaughn already beat me to the joke. That's where I was going to land with this joke eventually, Vaughn.
Scotty Miller. Yeah, we knew that was coming.
No, but I think, like, okay, realistically, yeah, I think the list really probably ends at DK. Then you're going to make, like, weird arguments about Darius Slay and Patrick Queen and, like, yeah,
Zach Frazier is a dark horse.
Zach Frazier, right?
Could
well,
be.
I think that part of the roster, Bob, is the better part of it, which is that maybe they don't have the blue chip guys now, but I think there are a lot of guys on this roster who could turn a corner. We already talked about Broderick and Fautanu. Zach Frazier certainly on that list.
Peyton Wilson
For sure on that list. I mean, I was going to say Freiermuth, but I think he's probably capped out a little bit.
Yeah. Only 2 tight ends made the list, I think, right? Brock Bowers and Travis Kelce. Is that right?
I wouldn't even argue with that. I don't even think Travis Kelce's a blue chipper anymore.
I think Tyler Warren is going to surprise some people and maybe be that second tight
I
end.
love Tyler Warren coming to the draft. He was
got to learn to block. I know you guys hate that about stuff, but he does.
He does. That is definitely the weakness in his game, for sure.
Oh no! The whole defensive line is another, like, a bunch of potential there, but haven't really like come through. Because I mean, Yaya Black. Can we all just, like, get in a prayer circle and just pray that he stays healthy and, like, stays good like this? Because boy, could the Steelers use. Oh, we drafted a first-round talent, but we accidentally got an All-Pro in the 5th round.
Yeah.
This team could use that so much.
Yeah.
And, I mean, if there was a defensive MVP for the preseason, it would have to be Yaya Black, right? He was phenomenal.
Easily.
Now, look, as much as I love Black, and I do, I already said I think he's the best defensive lineman we got today. But
easy.
I've heard some people saying he's the best 5th-round draft pick in Steelers history, and they acknowledge that Mike Webster was picked in the 5th round. I'm sorry. Even if he's great, even if he's a Pro Bowler, even if he's an All-Pro, he's not Mike fucking Webster.
Also, Shamarko Thomas was a 5th-round pick, so that's.
There's that.
Actually, I don't think he was a 6th-round
Shamarko
pick.
Thomas.
I think he was a 6th-round pick.
They had high hopes for him. They traded up for him. He was a 4th rounder, I think. No.
Oh, 4th-rounder. Yeah, you're right. He was a 4th-rounder.
Because they traded up to get him. Didn't work out. That's not one of Colbert's better moves. We'll just skip right past that one.
Not quite.
Or maybe it was.
So, Dave, if you're giving defensive player, who would you give like defensive enforcer of the preseason, like the person who really went out there and set a tone for the defense? Who would that be? Jalen Ramsey?
No. You're trying to bait me now. You're getting to be like Forum now. You're trying to bait me into stuff. Look,
I'm telling you, by the 3rd game of the season, you're going to be so in love with Jalen Ramsey. You're going to be like,
I was in love with him before. I love the trade. I just, like we talked about on the podcast, the Tomlin virus, the undisciplined, let's go out there and fuck around, guys, and out athlete everybody and set tones and be tough.
Can we all admit I've never been more invested in seeing how many personal foul penalties a single player gets than I am in 2025 to see if Jalen Ramsey it's over 2, right? Is what we set the over under at?
I set the over under on 2, yes.
2.
I think he's going to blow by that. I think he might.
Wait.
He's had 2 his whole career.
I know.
But he's gonna blow by it this year.
And he's got 1 under Mike Tomlin so far in 1 series.
Does that one count, by the way? Do we need 1 more to get to 2, or this is
No. I'm talking regular season. Regular season.
Preseason stats don't count.
I gave them a break. I should have said it higher. I should have said it like 5. I was giving them a break. I was being kind.
Can I say something stupid about Jalen Ramsey based on like 6 plays of preseason?
You're on the right podcast.
Awesome. I thought he looked fucking awesome in 6 plays. Around the ball, instinctive. Like, sure, he made the dumb play where he threw the guy behind. Like, that was a stupid play. But I do side with Bob on this one. Like, whatever, it's preseason. I agree, shouldn't have done that. But, like, I don't care. I just thought he was awesome. I think, and I love Minka, and everybody out there who was watching NXT North Talk knows how much I had to defend Minka Fitzpatrick on that show, and I did right up until my last ever show on NXT North Talk was me still defending Minka even after his down year. This is when Kyle Hamilton was getting good. But I will say after 6 plays of Jalen Ramsey, that is an A+++++ trade. Holy shit! What a trade! What a trade!
I think Jalen Ramsey is the best corner on the team. I'm very excited. He's a Pittsburgh Steeler.
Mm-hmm.
I just worry. I worry. Is Tomlin chirping at him like, I need a tone setter. I need somebody. I mean, we know that Jalen Ramsey is a borderline guy sometimes. He likes to jaw. He likes to talk. If you take the chains off him and encourage it, oh boy, you're asking for trouble. You are asking for a lot of trouble.
Yeah,
so we'll see.
This whole temper tantrum, that's not him. Now, he will throw a fit in the press room. I will guarantee you.
He's out there jawing with receivers all day long. Bob.
Yeah,
he's
but
one
he
of the
doesn't
most
have
famous guys.
temper tantrums on the side.
No, I get. No, all right, no, but
this team, if they do not start fast, if they are, let's say, like 2-6 or something like that.
Oh, he's a nightmare.
No, not just him. The entire locker room is filled with guys who are going to be all-time problems. You think Rodgers is going to be cool? You think Rodgers is going to be silent and not do it? No weird body language on the field coming off after a 3 and out. If this team's 2-6, DK, same thing.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
We talked about this in the offseason, right? We said this, like, this is a very strange year for Tomlin because this should just be a throwaway. I said this, like, first time I was on your show this year. I said, like, I kind of don't care about 25. It's all about getting a quarterback in 26. Who gives a shit? But this could really blow up in Tomlin's face. This could either be an awesome move for Tomlin of, like, they make the playoffs, actually do something in the playoffs. Like, it would be cool if that happened because I think they have some of the talent to make that happen. But man, the other side of this could get real bad, or at least it's going to be a hell of a challenge for Tomlin to keep this thing together.
He's never had more to lose because this fan base is bought in 100%. This fan base thinks this is going to be a very successful team. So if things go off the rails, he's going to hear it.
And it's a group of guys who we have not had in Pittsburgh who are going to mouth off.
Yeah.
They're not going to mouth off on the sideline. It's not going to be behind closed doors. They're going to show up at the press conference. They're going to show up in the locker room and say, yeah, our coaching staff is fucking stupid. Devon's point. You know what, though, to be honest with you, I think by default, Pat Meyer is going to get rehired because now that Broderick's playing in the right spot, I think the offensive line is going to be good enough, and he's going to get a fucking contract extension.
That's the least of my worries. If they end up playing good, fine.
You know what's interesting about the whole thing, though? Like, the schedule's set up in a way where they should start fast. And all of this kind of worry goes away.
You're throwing like 15 guys who haven't taken one snap together in live fire. And
yeah, but they don't play anybody. They don't play a good quarterback until Joe Burrow. Right? Like, just look at this defense against Justin Fields, against Sam Darnold, against Drake May, against J.J. McCarthy, against whoever Cleveland's starting in week 6. Right?
Yeah.
That's the first 5 quarterbacks this team faces.
You have a legit shot of starting 5-0.
Right. They won't. We know they won't. But
we know there's a Tomlin stinker in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, my worry for this team is that they're going to, like, I know the 9-8 joke is stupid, but, like, I do worry this team's going to finish 9-8. Not because I think they're going to start slow or, like, anything like that. I worry that this thing's going to – the cracks are going to start to show like they did last year, late in the year, as the schedule gets more difficult. Buffalo, Baltimore, Detroit, right, that end of the year. I could see this team losing like 5 of their last 6 games, or 6 of their last 8 games, something like that.
That would be a disaster because then you've gotten the fan base even more crazy. They start 6-1, 7-1, then they lose 6 out of 7, squeak in the playoffs and don't make the playoff. That's going to be. I could
see this team not making the playoffs this year. I think they could start fast. Like, this team could be based on record wise. Like, hell, I wouldn't be shocked if this team won the division based on how their schedule lines up for them. Because like part of being good in the NFL is believing that you're good, right? And like riding that momentum week to week. Man, if this team starts fast and they're like 6-0 to go into Cincinnati on that Thursday game, damn, dude. I mean, like, look out.
That's the key to the season. If they show up on Thursday night, especially if they're playing the Browns the week before, which I know it's the Browns, but let's face it, we have lost a game to the Browns now like 5-6 years in a row. If they could show up on that Thursday night, beat the Browns, and then show up and beat the Bengals back-to-back in those few days, and now you got 10 days off before Green Bay, this could be a special season. It really could.
The range of outcomes for the season is ridiculous. It could go any number of ways. Any number of ways.
If this defense is even close to as good as they've been billed to be after this training camp, they play so many bad quarterbacks this year. Like, I think the floor for this team in wins, because like if they could just beat every bad quarterback they play, again, look at those first 5 games. Right, we got to talk about them. Then it's Cleveland again, so that's 6 wins. Right, you still have to play the Colts, whoever whether it's Daniel Jones or Anthony Richardson. Awesome. Caleb Williams, I'm not a believer in, and they still got 2 left. And that's I think we just went over 8. Did we just go over 8 or 9 wins before we got to? And that's like, if you just beat all the teams who have bad quarterbacks, and then can you steal one from Cincy, or steal one from Baltimore, steal one from Buffalo? This is like 12 wins for this team. I don't think is completely out of the question based on the way the schedule lines up.
Yeah, we'll know it right after. We'll know it within the first 6 weeks, though. If they go 3-3, it's trouble. But if they go 6-0, then they could set themselves up for a big year. It's just, I mean, they didn't beat. Who was the Patriots quarterback a couple of years ago that was awful? Bailey Zappi. When they went on that 3-game losing streak. We talk about bad quarterbacks. They lost to 3 bad quarterbacks. Well, the Arizona quarterback wasn't too bad, but he's not great either. But this is what Tomlin does sometimes. And to your point, the defense is probably the best it's been in a few years now, probably since 2019, right? The best defense they've put on the field. So
the stat I'm going to be watching all year is how many turnovers they're creating as a defense. I don't know what the number was last year, but this team, when they've been like really good, part of that is like they've been able to wreak havoc defensively, and they are leading or near the top of the league in creating turnover. If they can do that this year,
are you buying into they're going to blitz more, or is Tomlin going to go back to his dinky and play soft zone and rely on TJ and Alex Highsmith to get home?
No, they're going to play man. I know they didn't do it against Carolina. Yeah. I think they're going to play man, and they're going to blitz.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I'm going to say this too. I don't think Cincinnati's that good. I don't think Cincinnati's going to win 8 games. I'd be surprised if they finish over 7 wins this season, even with that offense.
The problem playing them is you have to outscore them.
Their offensive line is
their line is atrocious.
Their defense is also like, I mean,
they've lost people. They were historically bad last year, and they lost some of their good players. Like
they did get Trey Anderson back today on a 1-year deal, so at least that is that.
What a weird. By the way, the Hendrickson thing. They gave him a raise. They didn't give him an extension. They gave him a raise. He's going to be a free agent after this year.
Yeah, the Bengals front office is just. They lucked into Burrow, Chase. You know, they just lucked into it.
They sucked into it because they had the first overall pick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll give you another. I'll give you a hot take. I don't think Baltimore's going to win as many games as people think. I think them being a preseason darling favorite is the exact wrong thing for Baltimore because they believe their hype. I mean, I don't think this. Look, I don't disagree that Lamar's a good regular season quarterback. That guy don't have it when it comes to the big games. He just don't. He's not going to win a playoff game. You're not going to win playoff games in that style. And at some point, Derrick Henry has to slow the fuck down.
Yeah, see, I fell into that trap too, and then I said Baltimore was going to make the playoffs last year, and then Derrick Henry went crazy. The combination of him and their quarterback is just devastating.
Well, if you look at the start of the Steelers season, right? We talked about it already. Like 4-0 is not out of the question for the Steelers, right? I think we all agree with that. Now, whether or not they actually get to 4, that's a different question. You look at the start of Baltimore's schedule: at Buffalo, home for Cleveland, home for the Lions, at Kansas City.
Wow.
Like, I'm not saying 1-3, okay? Because they probably beat Detroit. But like 2-2 is not out of the question. And 1-3 could happen.
Yeah, that's a brutal first 4. I didn't even realize that was that crazy.
Well, then they play the Texans and Rams in back-to-back weeks. So like their first 6 games are.
They struggle.
That's 2 pretty good teams.
They always struggle with Cleveland at least once.
Mm-hmm.
At least once they struggle with Cleveland.
Yeah.
Could we be talking 0-4?
I just worry that it could end up a lot like last year, where the Steelers are ahead in the division, but the schedule gets tougher for Pittsburgh and easier for Baltimore down the stretch, and like we end up in the same situation.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the fact we don't play Baltimore till later in the season because it'll give this defensive line time to heal because you're going to need them at full strength. I'm so excited to see them play the base against the Ravens with Ramsey matching up with Zay Flowers in the
sure they're going to play base?
Play to cover 1.
Are we sure they're going to play base this time?
I think that's why they redesigned the defense and got Ramsey.
Play Ramsey against the run. I'm all for it. Like that dude.
Yeah.
Again, 6 plays. I'm not gonna overreact after 6 plays, but he is maybe the greatest Pittsburgh Steeler I've ever seen
it's too late.
in my entire life. So
he's no Mel Blount, but he's pretty good.
Yeah, exactly. Like I would probably retire his number today as a Steeler if I could. So.
Ooh, wow.
And
I still miss Minka. I don't care what you guys say. I still miss Minka.
If he plays 3 great years,
I miss 2022, Minka.
Yeah. If he plays 3 great years for us, you could make an argument that he's probably the 3rd best quarter in franchise history.
This feels like a one and done to me. I just got that feeling.
I think he's under contract next year.
Yeah. They got to re-sign him to a long-term deal.
Yeah.
Because he's not going to play on a 1-year deal.
Well, he has. I mean, him and Darrelle Revis are the 2 guys who have just. I mean, they every year.
Yeah.
Let's talk about re-upping that contract.
There's no way he's playing on that deal next year. There's no way.
There's very little guaranteed money in that contract next year.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I mean, if he's good enough, like if he has a great year, I think the Steelers won't have a problem. They have the money next year.
He's under contract till 2028.
No.
Yeah, I'm looking at his contract on Spot Rec right now.
I think those are phony.
The void years?
No. I think those are.
No, he is under contract till 2028. He is under contract till 2028. Yeah.
Yeah, he's 17, 19, 31 in 2028. So that's a fake year.
Boy,
He's also 34.
But he's gonna ask for a redo next year.
Yeah,
Like, that's
he
just
is.
coming. So just bake that in.
yeah, prepare yourselves because it's happening.
Also, I like that. Like what Bob said, I agree. You know, you got to let this team kind of come together before. Like playing Baltimore late in the year is good because it allows Caleb Johnson to find his, you know, to find his footing.
Okay.
So we can have a
I hope
little
you guys are
1-2
right.
punch.
I really hope you guys are right.
Yeah, there's no dead money on that Jalen Warren contract though, so none of it's guaranteed.
Yeah,
his guarantees have already been paid out.
Yep.
So you're looking at a restructure on this contract just if they're going to keep him.
Yeah, it's a dead cap $15 million next year, but after that it goes to 10 and 7, and even 15 is a relatively light dead cap hit. So yeah, that's a good point, Trey.
I don't even see a dead cap on 26. I'm on over the cap. Doesn't have them having any dead cap hit at all.
Yeah, it depends on how they this prorated option bonus. It depends on what happens if you cut him from that. Yeah.
I thought they moved all of the guaranteed money from next year up into this year. That was the additional base that they gave him this year, and that's why there is no guaranteed money beyond this year. That's why it's basically a 1-year deal right now. Like I know it looks like it's structured out for 4 years, but it's basically a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah. Irregardless, he's going to ask for a new contract after the season.
He should,
which is why it's so important that they did not bend to Cam Hayward, because like I said, didn't do it for Cam. We ain't gonna fucking do it for you.
Let's wait for kickoff against the Jets before we say they didn't bend.
Yeah, there's still time. There's still time.
I got a feeling him and Boz are both going to get a little.
Yeah,
maybe.
Well, Boz deserves it. They both do, actually.
You can't give it to one without the other. If you do one, you got to do both.
All right, guys, we've gone pretty long here. Tony, I appreciate you coming on as always. We were looking forward to your takes on this stuff. Always good to have you on. Any last words before we get out of here, guys?
Scotty Miller hype train.
Yep,
all
Scotty
aboard.
Miller.
All aboard Scotty Miller hype train. That's right. Wide receiver 2. Over under 500 yards for Scotty Miller receiving this year.
These last few years of watching the Steelers wide receivers have cracked our brains to the point where
Rodgers loves him. He can fly. He can literally fly. That's
I had forgotten how fast he was. I did.
Yeah.
I'll admit that. He is fast.
I'd say over on the 500.
Ooh.
If Calvin Austin misses 2 games, I'd say over.
It's going to be interesting what his role is if they're all healthy.
I don't think Calvin Austin gets back on the field necessarily if Scotty has 2 good games to start the year.
I could see
Remember, Rodgers always gets the guy he likes, and that guy gets playing time.
That's
regardless
a
of
great point.
like who
That
he's
is
saying.
a great point.
Rodgers finds like this is my guy, get him on the field and money downs.
Yeah.
Which maybe we should go over on that one. We're going to do an under over podcast, so we'll bake that one in for sure.
I like that.
Are we sure that Calvin Austin either number one? I think if he's not healthy, Scotty does do it. But let's say he is healthy. Let's say he's going to play week 1. Does Calvin get a 2-year extension before the season starts?
No, I would be shocked.
I wouldn't give him an extension.
Nope. No extension.
Sure as hell ain't going to franchise him next year.
No,
that means you're letting him walk.
Or he takes like the Jalen Warren deal, like the 1 year,
could
prove
do that
it.
too.
Juju did that at the end of his time.
Yeah, could do that. All right. Thanks a lot, guys.
Right.
Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll be back on Friday for another podcast. Until then, thanks for listening to the Steel Sanctuary podcast. Thanks again, Tony.
Ain't nothing over till it's over.
What's that from, the 80s?
It's probably in the 70s.
This is disappointing as hell.
Now what the fuck are we supposed to do?
Yo, come back now, you hear?
Probably worth the Google.
Saw that coming.